The information shared on the Self-Care with Gene Edelman podcast, including the Kitchen with Gene series, is intended for informational and educational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Please consult your doctor or qualified healthcare professional before beginning any diet or nutrition plan to ensure it is appropriate for your individual health needs and circumstances.
Hi, I'm Gene Edelman. For decades, I've been a student of the healing arts, Reiki, traditional Chinese medicine, homeopathy, acupuncture, plant-based, and macrobiotic cooking. Join me on this journey and hear my thoughts of the week. Welcome back to the kitchen, where food meets life. And happy first day of spring. We'll talk more about that next week. But first, I want to check in. Did you have a good week? Did you make any changes? How'd you feel? Did you get a chance to go out? How'd that go? I do hope it all went well. You know, I laugh at myself at the beginning, all the changes. I actually printed cards for the waiters. I would hand a waiter a card and say, I'm allergic to dairy, or I'm allergic to gluten, or whatever, and just to make sure that they would get it correct with the chef. So I'm a little over the top, but everybody's got to find their way. So anyway, back to the kitchen. As I shared my journey with you, traditional Chinese medicine and macrobiotics, many of these concepts I was introduced to were very foreign to me. But I didn't despair. I just kept learning and listening until it made sense, until I could incorporate what resonated with me into my life. And the concept I never knew about, but learned in my studies, is that food is either acidic or alkaline. Very interesting concept, very new to me and very eye-opening, because like in my family, we have arthritis, and I was starting to, even in my late 30s, early 40s, starting to see arthritis in my hands and stuff. And since then, all that inflammation has gone away, but now I understand why, and I'm going to explain that to you now. So look at it this way. Our body is a machine, and it consumes food as fuel. Once that fuel is metabolized, it is either an alkaline byproduct or an acid byproduct. And an indicator of if we're too acidic or too alkaline, we have a pH. Our body actually has a pH factor. And this pH factor is directly influenced by the food we eat and the beverages we consume. And this pH factor is our indicator for inflammation. And so the fuel we're putting in, as I said, is either creating an alkaline environment in our body, or it's creating an acidic environment in our body. So here's some examples. Coffee, when we consume it, is acidic, and coffee, when it metabolizes, is acidic. Certain vegetables are alkaline when we consume them, and alkaline once we metabolize them. This is interesting. Oranges and lemons are acidic when we consume them, but they are alkaline once we metabolize them. Meat is another one that's interesting. Meat is alkaline when we consume it, but it becomes acidic when we metabolize it. So it would appear in all the research that I've been reading that we would want to consume more alkaline foods. So, and those are going to be more plant-based foods, and our fruits and vegetables, our seeds, our legumes, that genre of food. But this is the cool thing that I've read. Our body is very smart. And when we do feed it an alkaline food, it actually builds up a reserve so that when we eventually eat the acidic food, it can process it and recover, which I thought, oh, that's so cool. That is such the miracle of this body. So here's the other interesting bit of information. If we're constantly feeding our body acidic food and beverages, our body doesn't get a chance to recover. And then we have created an acidic environment within our body, which there is a long list of health issues that are created when we have an acidic environment in our body. So an alkaline state is the optimum for long-term health. And as I said, alkalizing foods are primarily fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, seeds, just closer to the earth, closer to nature in the form that we get them. So think of it that way. So animal products, they're acidifying. They go in alkalizing, but they acidify as our body metabolizes them. As you can imagine, caffeine, sugar, soda, alcohol, highly processed foods, nicotine, these are all items that are on the highly acidic list. And I didn't know this, but I learned it in my reading and research, that if we eat more than 30 grams of animal protein in a day, this creates more acidity that our body can alkalize in a 24-hour period. And it doesn't matter how many veggies we eat. It's that 30 grams in 24 hours. And have we built up any alkaline reserves? So that could help us plan. Maybe we only eat meat a few times a week, and we make sure that we're eating grass-fed, and we make sure we're eating wild-caught fish. I just think this is so fascinating, and understanding this bit of information, I think, can help us with portions of our animal protein. Maybe we'll eat a little bit less, have the petite fillet instead of the larger. And maybe we can just check in with our consumption of dairy and caffeine, sugar, soda, alcohol, and processed foods in one day. So maybe we have a good day and maybe we have like one bad day a week. I don't know. But just having this information is so empowering, because what we want to do is we want to give our body the opportunity to recover from the foods that we've eaten. And we don't want to deplete our alkaline reserves. I think it's pretty cool. And as I just shared, the goal is to eat as close to nature as possible. So eating our fruits and veggies, legumes, nuts, seeds, that's really as close to nature as we can get. So here's my tip. So if we have any of these symptoms of achy joints or any chronic issues, it might be a good opportunity to try to look at our food and maybe how we pair our food. This was something interesting that I was reading. And we could test for a week or test for a month and see if we feel any better and if we have any decreased inflammation in our body. And we'll notice, I think we'll notice, maybe we wake up, we don't have the aches and pains. I think if we're aware, I think we'll notice it. So again, in researching this, they had recommendations for pairing food that might help more in metabolizing a little bit better so that we have more alkaline reserves. So this is the research that I found. If we eat our protein with our vegetables, so just picture this, a wonderful, beautiful salad with lots of different veggies and a small portion of chicken, fish, or beef. So that type of pairing. And then the other pairing that they recommend is eating our starches with our vegetables. So think of a beautiful pasta with tons of broccoli and carrots and onions and just a delicious, pasta with vegetable meal. So, and this is just a test. This isn't long term. This is just a test of different pairings of foods to see if we can build up our alkaline reserves so that we can get rid of some of our aches and pains. So eating our protein with our vegetables, like I said, lots of veggies and a smaller portion of beef, chicken, or fish. Eating our starches with our vegetables, so rice and vegetables or pasta and vegetables. And then the other thing that I thought was interesting to help build a more alkaline environment in our body is to eat fruit by itself. And I know it's springtime and we want to eat the fresh strawberries in our salad. But again, this is a test. This is a test to see if we can get rid of some of our inflammation. So eating our bowl of fruit as a snack midday, just by itself. So this is interesting research that I found. The other thing that I was reading about and I've talked about this with the traditional Chinese medicine and our body clock, but there are times during the day when our system responds to certain foods. So early morning to noon, our body digests fruits and vegetables a little bit more easily. And this is also a good time to maybe, with spring here, to put a little bit of fresh lemon in a glass of water in the morning to help get our digestive juices flowing. So early morning to noon, lighter fare, vegetables, fruits, things like that. And then the hours of noon to about 6 or 7, this is our prime digestive time. Prime digestive time. This is when we want to eat maybe our bigger meal, and we definitely want to be done with our dinner by 6 or 7 o'clock. Because this is when our body is prime digesting. And then after 7, our body is in assimilation mode. And this goes till about 3 a.m. This is when our body is such a miracle. It is assimilating all the nutrients and all the food that we put into it during the day. And that it is assimilating between 7 p.m. and 3 a.m. And then 3 a.m. till about 7 a.m., this is our time of elimination. Our body is in elimination mode. And it works on getting rid of our toxins that are in our system. And I just find this all so fascinating, just learning about our body. Early morning to noon, fruits and vegetables, noon to 6 or 7, prime digestive time. 7 to 3, our assimilation time, and 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. is our elimination mode. So it's cool. We have such a miracle working for us every day. So my action item for the week is, if any of this resonates, if anything resonates, if you do have some aches and pains, and if you do want to try to make some changes, look at what we're eating and when we're eating it. Keep a food log. Record what we're eating and how it makes us feel. And, do more research. Go down the rabbit hole. Google. Get some books. Dive into if it makes sense to you. And there's a book that I have I'm going to put in the footnotes. It's called Alkaline and Acid. So, each of us has our own journey. And health may not be important to you. You may just say, I'm just going to go through my day. None of this matters, Jean. Thank you very much. And that's okay. But it's about exploring what can help us and feel healthy and vital. And if this is important to you, then do the research. Find what resonates for you so you can feel better. And if you find something, let me know, because I'll start researching it and we can talk about it too. Check out our next episode of The Kitchen on April 3rd. We're going to talk about blanching our vegetables, water sauteing our vegetables, and steaming our vegetables. Hope to see you there next time on The Kitchen. Remember, we're in Earth School, always learning. Love is the biggest lesson. Loving ourselves, loving each other, and remembering life comes from us and is for us. Have a wonderful week, everyone.